And I was gonna take the high road and just say thank you and leave.
Don't take the high road, Paul.
But I have something to say to you! I've waited a long time to say this! I almost forgot about you!
Or I'll do things differently. I make my own rules because it's much easier that way. You made a mistake by turning your back on me because I don't play no game.
One more time for old time's sake! Right there so the whole world can see us!
That's right! It is episode number 3 of Oh No Wrestling. Welcome, everybody. I can hear them. I can hear them chanting across their, through their headsets that they're listening on. I can hear it through their mics coming into a pre-recorded podcast. It's pretty amazing technology these days.
I mean, that just shows how good we are.
That's right.
At what we do.
That's right. Along with me is Duncan. I'm Owen, and if you're new to this is where me and my good friend Duncan, we just sit down and we talk about wrestling and the week's events and all that is going on in the wide world of, well, mainly the WWF, but we're probably going to try and incorporate more and more of other stuff later down the road.
We'll get there when we care.
Well, exactly. Speaking of which, I think I found a way now to watch Lucha Underground, which I haven't really seen heck of a lot of. So that might be coming in the near future. I'm going to try and catch up. I know I've got 2 full seasons, and I know the second season is like quite long. So probably be a couple weeks until I'm really fully caught up on that. But yeah, I've got maybe an illegal way to watch them. I'm just gonna say
you mean
that
a completely
legal way to watch them. So yeah, no, it may be coming in the near future. That's what we'll do. But so much to talk about, Duncan. Do we want to just hop right into Raw?
I mean, I think we need to.
I think we
need to just hop right in.
It was. First off, it wasn't as good as the previous week's Raw.
I mean, overall, it's just going to be so hard to match that. I think they'll get there, though.
I think they will.
But I also think they don't want to blow it too soon.
Yeah, no. I definitely thought it was still a really solid show. Definitely probably better than any of the Raws in the last 6 months prior to the draft, right?
I mean, there was a couple like there. 2 or 3 Raws before the draft where we were like, that was a really good Raw. And everything else was like, that was okay. Or, oof, that was not okay.
So the show started off with Sasha coming out of nowhere, which I liked.
Yeah. I liked it too.
It's cool to, really make a big deal of the fact that she's just won, this new the women's championship in the previous week, and cool to acknowledge that. And of course, who comes out? It's Charlotte.
Obviously,
no surprise there. Great encounter with the two of them. Quite a good couple of jokes. I loved Sasha throwing the whole Ric Flair thing in there.
Oh, the whole one night stand.
Yeah, the whole one night stand thing, which
that was fantastic.
That's pretty awesome. And then, lo and behold, who comes out? Someone that you'd never guess in this sequence.
Not at all. When it like
why? First off, why?
Quiet. I'm like
20 times.
I'm like, no. They gave him a mic and it was live, and I was like, there's no way that's. But nope. Here comes fucking Jericho.
Which, again, no real reason to be butting his head into this situation, but was kind of cool because, he's on Charlotte's side. Being the heels, I think it was really appropriate. And,
I was like, okay, whatever.
I mean, what was his whole reasoning, I guess, behind it? I guess it was because you're You're looking down on a veteran type thing. You're looking down on somebody that comes from...
looking down on Ric Flair's daughter.
Yeah, you're looking down on legacy. You're looking down on, by looking down on her, you're looking down on Ric Flair, which is looking down on me and wrestling as a whole, which is kind of cool. It sort of separates him from the new era and all that sort of stuff. It kind of plants that, draws that line in the sand.
Right. I mean, even though Charlotte's technically a member of the new era, but whatever. But then, how my head started to hurt as soon as fucking Enzo came out.
Right.
Because I was like, wait.
And not Enzo and Cass.
No, just Enzo.
Just Enzo.
And then, it was so awkward watching the, forced flirting between Sasha and Enzo.
Oh, I was getting horny. I thought we were gonna start seeing some shit go down.
Oh, you thought we were gonna get an Edge and Lita live sex celebration?
Yeah. That's what I thought was gonna
You need to stop spending so much time on the internet.
That's
my friend.
Probably true as well. But no, I thought it was really cool to see, Enzo go head to head with Jericho in that manner, see them both.
That was great. Those two, I would listen to promo off of each other for fucking ever.
And that had to be the whole reason, really, right? Behind it.
Think. I guess that's the only thing I can think of is to
just to kind of see how Enzo fares against one of the best talkers that's ever lived. Can they work together? And they did, and they shouldn't be a surprise.
But also, is it going to be a reoccurring thing? You have to assume that that's not the only interaction they're going to have, but it's a little odd to have Enzo without Cass and Cass just not really doing anything.
Until the end of the segment when all, hell
went but loose even then that was like you picked on my friend.
Yeah. And it kind of makes me a little nervous because are they trying out, a future of Cass without Enzo and Enzo without Cass? Are they?
I'm sure they are because both of them are good talents. Vince loves Cass.
Oh, without a doubt.
So, and Enzo's fucking really good on the mic.
And he's not bad in the ring.
He's not. Dude, okay, but here's what...
When he's really not trying to kill himself.
Thank you. Him and... everybody needs to stop diving through the ropes.
How long until that move is banned?
Dude, seriously, somebody's going to pull a draws, and then it's going to fucking be...
Exactly. Someone's going to break a neck, and it's nobody's... they're going to ruin it for everybody.
And that's terrible.
I'll throw Big E into that equation,
dude,
too.
Big E, Sasha, and Enzo... It's you guys stop.
Ambrose can do it, I guess. Still, he never really looks like he's hurting himself.
No, he doesn't. But I guess that's the issue: is if you look like you're gonna die, don't do it. So that leaves what, Dean?
Yeah, there might be a couple others.
There's a couple others I'm sure that can do it, but it just looked real rough.
It does. Either way, it was an interesting match.
What I love is that Foley, anytime there's an issue, Foley comes out with his GM tablet and he makes a match,
which is it's smart.
Yeah, I enjoy that.
Settle it in the ring. It's old school almost.
Yeah, it is old school. It's actually giving meaning to the matches instead of them just it's a match.
Right. And a nice way to open up Raw. I didn't dislike it at all. Jericho and Charlotte, of course, being one team, and Sasha and Enzo the other.
Yeah, with our favorite Kevin Owens on commentary.
Now that part was great, but even more of a why,
Yeah.
Of all people to come out right now and start, getting involved in this equation. Why Kevin Owens? Why now? He's had his feuds with Jericho in the past, and I guess that sort of played into it, but it seemed like just an excuse to get Kevin Owens on commentary, which I'll take. I'll gladly take any time.
I'll take it too. Exactly. Yeah. But you're correct. It did feel kind of Like, well, why is that? The whole opening of Raw was, why is any of this happening?
Yeah, what is going on right now?
Yeah, I didn't not enjoy it, but it was still very I'm like, I don't understand.
Yeah. and that's what wrestling is to a certain degree. It's that you got to suspend your disbelief for a little bit. And
but disbelief is one thing. That was just because we've been watching wrestling for forever. It's like you can kind of tell where things are going. This one was like, huh. All right.
Yeah.
Wasn't a bad match.
No, Charlotte Jericho won, right?
Yep, Charlotte Jericho won.
Wasn't with a pin over Sasha.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like there might have been some distraction there. It wasn't completely clean, I don't think, but
I don't know.
It does bother me a little bit in the sense that here we go, 50-50 booking again.
Right.
But in a sense, also justifies the rematch at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean, technically the rematch at SummerSlam is justified in the fact that Charlotte was the champion and she has a rematch.
Yeah. It just fueled that fire, I suppose.
I suppose you're right. I guess moving on from that, we had yet another Braun Strowman destroying a jobber.
Which the pre-match interview with, I think it was Byron, it was Byron in there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like, what was it?
Why are you doing this right now? Yeah, I could make $1,000, and if I just happen to win, I can make $5,000.
I mean, look,
that's as good a reason as any, right?
I guess. I mean, I'd take that armpit slam for $1,000, I suppose.
Do you like it?
No.
It's stupid, right? The armpit slam thing.
So, yeah.
Do they call it that, or did I miss that?
No, I don't know what they call it.
They called it like a reverse choke slam or something weird. It's
not really a reverse choke slam, though.
And it didn't look very well executed. Once again, it was like a 30-second match where Braun did nothing but, kick him a couple of times, do couple big power moves.
The ring.
I mean, okay, way bigger than you. You're gonna die, so on and so forth. So obviously, Braun wins that. I'm okay with the squash matches for maybe another week. I
guess I'm okay with it but man, you got to give me something more to Braun. Like, make it look like he's not sloppily destroying these guys. Like, make it look like he's methodically, like he's like, okay, I can beat this guy in 3 moves. Like, 1, and then 2, 3, and then do it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like maybe something. Like, yeah, have that be his thing where he's, talking a big game and actually, yeah, you're going to have to start putting him on the mic a little bit for this to all kind of work.
Right.
Like,
I think you have to.
I think you have to. Maybe before the match, maybe after the match. And yeah, like you said, have something to prove. Like, it's like a competition with himself to see how little moves he can beat a guy in.
Something. Or like, it's like, name that tune. It's like, dude, I'm so good at this, I can name this in 4 moves.
Right, right. So with that though, I guess it brings on another kind of like moment of the evening. Golden Truth, who I love. I'll go on the record as saying I love me some Golden Truth.
I do too.
I think it's hilarious against the Shining Stars.
I'm also not opposed to the Shining Stars either.
I think they have promise. I think if they do something, if they do it right with the right guys, they can work.
I mean, they're better than the goddamn Matadors were.
Well, yeah, it's not hard, but it's true. With them, though, I mean, you've still got this thing now with R-Truth playing Pokemon Go all the time. Like, that's the thing. Not? Mildly amusing. If it keeps going on, again, like the squash matches, dumb. So give it a week or two. Funny joke. But don't stretch this out too long.
I mean, they're gonna.
And the problem is with it, too, is it's like in a situation where we've divided the rosters and we kind of need as many tag teams as we can kind of have going on right now.
Right.
Don't put R-Truth and Goldust in a situation where they're going to split again, because that's what it looks like. It's like, Goldust is going to get mad at R-Truth for being stuck on his Pokemon.
He's going to put him in Pokemon rehab is what's going to happen.
That's probably that would actually be pretty funny. But no, it just seemed dumb. Shining Stars did get their first win, however, I think, on a Raw program at least.
I don't know if it was. Maybe it was their first one. But they got to win.
They got to win.
Then we went into. Man, they're hot on Finn, aren't they?
Someone is, and I don't know that it's Vince, but someone in creative is just like, yep, that's the guy.
Triple H.
I think it's got to be Trips. We talked about this last week, and the fact that he's actually one of these dudes that is behind the smaller guy. That's right behind, your Daniel Bryan types, and Finn's sort of a Daniel Bryan type, but he has the look at least. Like I think that's the thing that Vince is like, okay, maybe he's not huge, but there's something about Finn. He's got an air of charisma. He even without saying a word, he has an air of charisma, and then. I think he's okay on the mic. I don't think he's the greatest.
But I don't think he's terrible.
No. And the accent is a little, off-putting. Maybe is the right word. I don't know how to really say it, but he's overcoming it a lot better than Becky Lynch is. Let's put it that way.
Oh, for sure.
And it was overall the segment, the in-ring segment between him and Rollins was enjoyable. I thought Rollins was at his finest.
I thought that whole interaction was fantastic, and it makes me want to see the match.
That's going to be the match, right? That headlines WrestleMania, or not WrestleMania, but SummerSlam.
Yeah,
I would think.
Well, Dean and Dolph as well. So it'll be Dean and Dolph as the secondary, as the co-main event, and then like the actual show closer, I think, will be the Universal Championship match.
I think it should be.
I think it should be too.
I mean,
but once again, you're putting emphasis on Raw,
and we're sort of devaluing the old championship, and we're we're sort of devaluing SmackDown now. I put some thought into this, and with the whole SmackDown Raw situation. Now,
okay,
I think they've hoodwinked us once again, because I don't think it was ever their intention to make SmackDown the flagship show, or to put SmackDown actually on that level. I still think they want Raw to be the main show. And I think that they've kind of tricked us into thinking like, oh no, we're gonna make SmackDown as good as Raw, but really it still needs to be slightly less of a show. I think even from USA's standpoint.
Yeah, but it's 2 hours long, so it's always going to be less of a show.
Exactly, and I think we're unreasonable, is my point, in thinking that it's ever going to be as good.
But there was a time where SmackDown was actually better than Raw.
Paul Heyman.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, and that was the golden age of SmackDown. But
I mean,
was Raw 3 hours? Raw was still 3 hours at that point, right?
I fucking can't remember.
I think it was.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Raw's been 3 hours for a while, and it's hard for it, but. It's 2 weeks after the whole brand split and like the whole emphasis on SmackDown, and we'll get to SmackDown.
We'll get to SmackDown.
Okay, so then we had Mark Henry,
yeah,
versus Russo, and I love
Mark Henry, your Olympian ambassador, I think.
Olympian ambassador. First of all, I want to say, Mark, please don't go to Rio. You're going to die.
Do you think they're going to send him down there?
I think they are, and I hope that they don't. Because, I honestly don't want anybody to go to the fucking Olympics in Rio.
What's more scary, going to the Olympics down in Rio or the Winter Olympics go in Russia? I'm going Rio.
Oh, 100% Rio.
Yeah, I think it's Rio. But it's ridiculous. Either way, like you said, Mark Henry has some fire up his ass now. He's like, I'm not done. I
want a U.S. title shot.
Yeah, because I deserve that.
Because I'm Mark Henry.
I mean, I guess.
I'm going to reopen the Hall of Pain.
Does Sexual Chocolate deserve a U.S. title shot? I don't really think so.
Well, now hold on. Does Sexual Chocolate deserve it? Yes. Does Mark Henry Hall of Pain deserve it? No.
Oh man, he's been world champ a couple times now, right?
A couple times, yeah.
We need to look that up, see how many times he's been world champ.
I mean, it's at least been, I want to say 2 or 3.
Oh, totally. I'll look it up right now.
Hasn't been many, but in any case, fucking Marky Mark puts on a decent 2-3 minute match.
He's not looking great. He's slow.
I think it's like his last hurrah. You know what I mean? He's gonna retire soon.
Yeah. All right. Since joining the WWF or now WWE in 1996, he has become a 1-time European champion and 2-time world champion.
There we go.
Having held the ECW championship in 2008 and World Heavyweight Championship in 2011.
That's right.
So that's how that works. Fair enough. Yeah, it was a match. We all knew Rusev was going to win. It's, I don't think, a shocker to anybody, but it was a shocker. What happened next? Why don't you tell us, Duncan?
Oh, well, we had Rusev getting on the mic, and he starts running his mouth about how no one can beat him, and
blah, 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 Russia.
Blah, blah, blah.
Banner. Boring. And lo and behold, Roman Reigns shows his face. Now, this was one of the first times that I actually got excited that Roman Reigns was on TV in a while. Because, Duncan, it means he's in the U.S. title picture and not in and out of the main tier. He's not the guy anymore. But
you know damn well what they're doing.
What is that?
Oh, you can't see?
I mean, I'm sure I can, but why don't you fill me in?
I think the bigger picture is, we're going to push Roman down. We're going to have him. It's going to be a couple-month program with Rusev. You know what I mean?
You think so?
I think they have a couple of matches. They go back and forth. Roman takes the belt.
Do you think he takes it at SummerSlam?
I'm not sure.
I hope they wait. I hope you're right, and I hope they make it longer, because I think there's some decent matches in that feud. I think it can really help Rusev look good too.
Right.
Because he's not beating guys like Zack Ryder and Mark Henry and whoever the hell else he's beaten.
Yeah, exactly.
Now he's beating a guy that's a 2-time world champ. Or 3. Is it 3?
3.
God, the one sort of counts, but doesn't. But they all count, I guess. It definitely shows that you've been a naughty boy, Roman, and you're not in the title
that's
picture.
It. Roman is going to take that belt. He's going to take that title. I'm almost positive.
I think you're right.
And it's going to be a redemption story. Roman fighting his way back to the top.
Now, what's interesting too about that scenario is, and this kills me because I do think you're right. Roman's going to take the belt, but where does that leave Cesaro, who just beat Sheamus? And then that's, I know, later on in the show, but it fits into what we're talking about. Thing between Sheamus and Cesaro for at some point, I think Mick said, at some point, whoever impresses us most is going to get a U.S. title shot.
Well, I mean, maybe they're setting it up for
a Roman Cesaro.
Maybe they're trying to put Roman with people who are going to make him look really good and who he can actually have a good match with. Because that's the thing is, Roman's not bad in the ring.
He's not. He gets way too much shit. I even said that last week.
Yeah.
And his Razor's Edge powerbomb thing is cool. It's cool. That's what a finisher should look like. Not a Superman punch, not a spear.
You know what? Like, have the Superman punch be his kind of setup.
That should be the setup. Yep.
Superman punch. The Superman punch is like a signature move. Like, he can hit it out of anywhere, but it's not going to finish the match.
Totally.
A spear, honestly, like, I think but now that Rhino's back, Rhino's on SmackDown, but Still, now that Rhino's back, you gotta not bite on the spear.
That's a good point. I hadn't really thought of that because, he was doing that long before Roman ever was around, and that's kind of his thing. What did you make of Roman's new ring gear?
Oh, the black and red. I dig it.
I dig it too. It's the coolest he's looked in a while.
Yeah, it's the coolest he's looked since the Shield.
Yeah, for sure. So, for as much as they're beating him down and they're slapping him on the wrist, naughty boy. Dude,
it's gonna build him up.
They're tearing him down to build him back up.
Yeah. Dude, it's gonna be huge.
And it might be the best thing that's ever happened to Roman.
It might be honestly, the wellness policy violation may have been the best thing to happen to him as a superstar because, it's like, oh, he is human.
And it's sort of, like you said, it gives you chance to actually have fans care about you long term and not just see it as a build out of nowhere. Like, he's got to earn it now rather than being handed it.
Exactly.
Moving on, we've got Darren Young versus Titus.
Oh, yeah, the battle of the primetime players.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, too. If anybody in this scenario I was going to think was going to turn heel, I thought it was going to be Darren Young. I thought they were going to do kind of maybe a Kurt Angle thing with him. When Kurt Angle first joined with WWE, he was presented sort of as the super babyface Olympian. Here's the guy, and then almost straight away they made him heel, and it was cool. It was
right.
Angle doesn't suck. What was it? He had a thing, but I know it was Angle sucks. But no, Titus going heel, like this super babyface who loves his kids. He's the family man. He does all this stuff outside
Father
of the company.
Yeah.
He wins over Darren Young with the old tights pull, the roll up tights pull.
Which, let's be honest, in real life, outside of professional wrestling, that shit doesn't work.
It really doesn't. I've tried it. And of all the things that's like that they get away with in matches, that's the thing that can get you a DQ or
get you a stern talking to from the ref.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's kind of dumb, but it was more than that though, because he then had an altercation backstage. I think almost like the next segment or when it came back from commercial break, there was a thing where
where Bob Backlund was getting all up in his grill.
And he basically did he beat up? I know he threatened to beat up the old man, and
no, he said
he pretty much did, right?
Like, get out of my face, or I'll knock your old ass out.
Mm-hmm. Which very unlike Titus, but I think he needs that.
Dude, he's a big scary man. Like, yeah, I love Titus as a face, but at the same time, like, I want to see him kind of get meat. Like, dude, when he fucking kicked Heath Slater's cheek open.
That was pretty badass.
Like, whoa, Titus. Alright. Fuck that.
I hate
shit.
that aura. I hate that shit.
Because it's a Florida thing.
It is. It's a stupid college thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. Whatever.
What was college? Which college? I don't know.
It was one of those Florida ones. That's all.
Yeah. So you're gonna have the battle of the primetime players again, I'm sure.
And that's actually kind of cool. That's decent. That's something that they can put both of them in for a month or two. Makes sense. There's ways to be invested. There's ways to develop it.
Right.
I'm okay with it. That's a plus for me. Overall.
Yeah. I could definitely see worse happening. Next we had. See, look, they're only doing these jobber squash matches for a couple people, for Braun Strowman and Nia Jax.
Well, it was a carbon copy of the week before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, of course, that match lasted like 30 seconds, and it also, like, some of it looked real sloppy. Like, it wasn't
really did.
Was not a very great squash performance.
Because she didn't look that good out of it either.
No, she didn't. Like, she looked kind of sloppy.
Let me ask you this. I've seen Nia a few times in NXT, but again, one of these people that I'm sort of on the fringe with, don't know a hell of a lot about.
Right.
Can she wrestle? Have I missed those matches, or is it just me that she's sort of on the same page as Braun like that, and that's why they're doing that? They're doing it just to build them.
I'm kind of with you. Like, I really don't know enough to say, but as far as like my opinion right now, yeah,
they're building her as the new. What was her face? And I'm not saying China, even though like she's got like the dominant female quality.
You were thinking of she was Awesome Kong.
Yes. Big black lady. Damn. That's gonna kill me. Awesome Kong. I can look that up. I have the internet. That's
like because Awesome Kong is her TNA name.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Skype noise.
Boy.
One of our friends must have signed on. Kia Stevens, but also in WWE known as Karma. Yeah.
She was scary, and there was I mean, honestly, like Nia Jax kind of reminds me of King Kong Bundy.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know what I mean? Like she's just like she's big. She throws people around, and then she fucking like, you know. Not saying like I'm just saying like the way she kind of is in the ring. I think she's beautiful.
Oh no, I think she's got super pretty features. Like she's obviously a bigger woman, but she
was a former plus size model.
I was gonna say, yeah, she was a former plus size model. Thanks to the facts that they give us now on these.
I know, right?
On the new programming.
Oh, no, nothing's as good as the SmackDown facts, but we'll get to that too.
We'll get to that.
All right, so let's go. We had
too much time on the jobber match. We don't need it because everybody knows, of course, Nia Jax won, and it was the same thing as the week before.
Right. We had New Day versus Gallows and Anderson. Good match.
Okay, all right. I loved the backstage bit, as always. I love any bit with New Day. I thought it was hilarious how they did one guy has to be backstage for this match according to the club stipulations for this.
Right.
And how they decided, picking the fruit out of a bag. And 2 oranges, one banana, as if you can't tell, but it was great.
Yes.
Now I was a little disappointed in this, the match itself.
Yeah. I mean, it was,
they're not good at making the club look like strong. They're still fucking up there.
They
can't win a match.
Look good in the match. They make them look strong after the match. Like they make them like, oh, well, we got beat, but now we can beat you up.
And I guess that's going to be their thing, but I just want to see them because we know they can really, really wrestle, and we know they can do better. It doesn't make sense to me to not take advantage of that, and maybe we'll just get more of that in the future. But the club with New Day, if they're going to have a serious feud going forward, should have looked quite a bit stronger than what they did in that match. Now, I guess you could say it was, they lost the match because they were doing too much, celebrating with themselves and showboating. But New Day, but it's the wrong team to do that with because New Day do that all the time. Is my point.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that, but also at the same time, heels used to lose matches via showboating a lot.
Yeah, you're right.
So
it is a classic wrestling maneuver, but
yeah, and I think that's why because we haven't seen it in so long.
Maybe that's it. I mean, it's kind of cool that they are obviously going to be getting in a program with the New Day. I'm sensing. Have they announced a SummerSlam tag match?
No, not yet.
I feel like that's coming, and I feel like it'll be for the belts, and
or they'll have one. Not for the belts, and then they'll do it for the belts.
Yeah, they'll win one, not for, for the belts.
Yeah, they'll win a non-title, and then
exactly. Which I can see them being really good tag champs, and out of anybody right now on the Raw roster, they should be the ones. If it's going to be anyone, it should be them taking it away from the New Day.
I agree. I completely agree. You don't have anybody else on the Raw roster
that can even come close.
No, that's strong enough to get that sort of distinction.
Then moving on, we mentioned it a little bit before, but we had Cesaro versus Sheamus.
Good match, real good match.
And I don't think either of us are huge fans of Sheamus.
No, I mean, he's growing on me. That match made it grow on me a little bit.
He can still work. He just needs to ditch the dumb fucking mohawk. He needs to. If you ever seen him, like when he does actual like real life interviews, he's got his hair kind of like slick back, like with the shit. He just needs to do that. Like it almost looks cool. Like
I mean, it's as cool as Sheamus can look.
It's about as cool as he can look. I was speaking of how he looked, like I was kind of fixated on the fact that he had like a pimple on his nose the whole time.
Did he?
Yeah, I don't know if you caught that, but
no, I saw that he had a big like loogie in his beard at one point.
Oh yeah, he did that, and he totally didn't realize he did. I don't think. No. I needed to wipe that away, but Cesaro with the win, which I'm happy for.
Yep, me too. I was very happy with that.
And like we said, hopefully that, is a shot at him getting closer to the U.S. belt, which that's the belt that Cesaro should be wearing. Like,
yeah, he should be validating that one.
He should be the guy taking on everyone, making that belt look good.
Yep.
And I think they're finally coming around to the fact that people like him. I don't know. I hope they are. I think
the Cesaro section has grown to be large enough that they're on board with it.
I guess we have to then talk about
Heath Slater,
baby. Who, man, I wasn't a fan of, and he's just in this whole thing like, wow, what a career reborn.
Seriously, like who'd have thought that Heath Slater would be the biggest winner out of the draft?
No kidding. The smartest thing they ever did was just have him not get drafted and have him play this role of just back and forth to every show.
Right.
With one of his old buddies who popped up.
Yep, Jinder Mahal.
Both of them in street attire. Jinder Mahal. Now they were part of the 3-man band thing, right?
Yep, 3MB.
Who was the other guy?
Dude.
I know.
You have internet.
3MB.
Yeah.
It's a good
because that was during my dark time as well.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Either way, I'm not terribly familiar with Jinder Mahal. In the 3MB thing, was it
Drew McIntyre?
Yeah. Okay, I know the name, just not terribly familiar. It seems like Jinder can wrestle. I don't know. Out of a lot of people that you're bringing back into the fold, it seems a odd choice. Not gonna lie there.
Mean, yeah, it is. I think their gimmick was actually pretty awfully. I think it was awful, but it worked.
Was it over?
I don't know that over is the word that I would use for it, right. But I don't think it was nearly as terrible. I think it kind of started like the New Day did, where everybody was just like, meh. And then it kind of grew a little bit to be something. It never got to like New Day standards by any means.
Gotcha.
But,
no. But it had its place.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see. It's a good way to, like, man, you could really do something with Heath Slater out of this.
You could, and hopefully they will. Maybe this is a clue that he'll get signed to Raw. I kind of think he'll get signed to SmackDown.
I don't know. We'll see.
It can go either way. But what was that? What essentially happened? Mick came out, right?
Mick came out and said, "Hey, whoever we have one spot available. We'll make a match between you two right now. Whoever wins gets the spot on Raw." Pete said no. Jinder had the ref ring the bell and kicked his face off and pinned him. And now Jinder is a full-time member of the Raw roster.
Overnight, someone that hasn't been around for probably 3,
a few years for sure.
A few years, just all of a sudden back. So that's kind of cool. I like the fact that they are doing that. Like, maybe not all the names that we want, but we've got Shelton Benjamin coming soon.
We are not going to be happy unless Kurt Angle comes back.
It's true. Listen to this, WWE. Listen to us. To us. But now, still cool that like you kind of said about Foley in the beginning of the show. he's coming out. He's saying, all right, you want your shot? There's one shot on Raw. Here you go. Have a match right now.
Problem solving. Being a general manager.
Yeah. Solve it in the ring. The ring.
Then we had main event match.
Before the main event match, I have to interrupt.
Okay.
There was a backstage segment with Jericho, which was one of my favorite backstage segments with Jericho in a while, where he's angry about how Enzo has Cass, and he always has his back, and he's really mad.
Oh yeah,
but he's got a guy that has his back, and he's trying to make up a name. I wish I remembered exactly what he said. I can't
remember it. No, but it was good.
Jim, Worthing fellow, and obviously, it's a fake name. And who pops up to say he has Jericho's back?
Oh, once again, our favorite fucking person
probably
on
Raw, Kevin fucking Owens, man. Yeah, no, I kind of like this direction because they're two of the best heels on Raw, and they're likable heels, which is not really heelish, I know, but they're a perfect fit together, a perfect fit to work together. Both on the mic and in the ring. So even if we get kind of a situation where KO and Jericho are helping each other and kind of screwing over other people, and
which I think will happen for a minute, and then we will get the inevitable feud between the two, which will be awesome.
I will look forward to that. I think the two will put on some amazing matches.
Absolutely.
And I think Jericho's been really, really good about helping put new guys over and setting new guys up on the right trajectory. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen with this KO Jericho thing. So
for sure.
Kudos to Jericho for taking the role that he's taken. Like he's kind of underappreciated in that manner. But then we can go to the main event, which, wow, solid work from both of these gentlemen, man.
Right.
Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins.
Oh, Seth.
And it was great because they still made it clean without making Sami look weak.
Right.
I don't know how you do that. Can you explain that to me? But it seemed to me it was fine.
I can't explain that to you. Well, I mean, that's the thing is like they're really good at Sami being the underdog. They're really good at Sami, like they portray him as being a great competitor, a great athlete, and he just comes up a little short. The same that they did with Daniel Bryan.
Right. And do you think that they are really ultimately looking for Sami to be the new D-Bry?
I mean, I think if they are smart, they will not shove it down anybody's throats, but kind of continue to do the way they've been doing it. Like, they're very, they're good at doing this if they don't try and like Roman Reigns it.
Right. Exactly. If they take their time and help the audience get to know who Sami is, that for those who didn't watch him in NXT and the Indies before, getting you to love his underdog character is something that they need to do and needs to develop on a long-term storytelling arc rather than an overnight push.
Absolutely.
Rollins obviously won the match. Sami went for one last haluva kick. Rollins, he predicted it. He got out of the way and got him into the pedigree, which I'm still happy is worthy of pedigree 1, 2, 3. It shouldn't. Certain moves. I know people have kicked out of the pedigree. But it should be few and far between, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's not nearly as bad as it, as other people's finishers, and it's hard for me to pick them off top, but like other people's finishers that don't finish anybody.
No, you're completely right. Your champion on SmackDown, your Dirty Deeds, is being kicked out of now on semi-weekly basis.
Which we're gonna get to, and we got to get to that.
Yeah.
But let's.
How did you like the end of Raw?
I liked it because I wasn't expecting it.
I wasn't expecting Heyman.
All
night they're promoting, for the last couple of weeks, Brock's going to be on SmackDown, Raw. Brock's going to be on Raw. Talk about, the Randy Orton fight.
And they never mention Paul.
And they never mentioned Paul because apparently there were some contract negotiations going on behind the scenes. And even in the graphic earlier in the evening, a graphic which you usually would have seen of both, Brock and Paul next to him, it was just Brock on the graphic.
Yeah,
there was no Paul. I mean, they're trolling us there a little bit.
I think that's a big part of it. They're trying to get fans to go, trying to do exactly what,
what we want to do.
Yeah.
But either way, to see Paul there, to have him come out of the locker room.
That's the thing is, I knew that Paul was going to be there. There was no way that they were going to have Brock Lesnar come out and talk for 10 minutes.
Yeah, you're right.
No fucking way.
No way. But then again, great Heyman promo, like they always are.
Great Heyman promo, and then great on Randy Orton hitting the RKO out of nowhere.
It was smart. It was well built up. The timing of it really worked out quite well.
Right.
I know a lot of people have talked shit about, here it is, like less than 2 weeks later, and from the draft, and already we've got crossover, and it's like, no, this one's acceptable because that match was booked. Before the draft.
First of all, that match was booked before the draft. B, it's also like Randy Orton is a veteran of, over a decade, as is Brock Lesnar. Like, those two came in together. It's a special attraction match. You can't just have Randy stand on SmackDown and talk shit and Brock stand on Raw and talk shit. It is never going to work. You have to have some sort of interaction between the two of them to make anybody give a damn about the match.
Absolutely. And honestly, how else do you build a huge match like that? You have to have them see each other. So
right.
Moving on to SmackDown,
we're gonna move right into SmackDown, which had like some of that the Brock Lesnar spillover spilled into the opening, because we had after
Randy coming in out from nowhere onto Raw.
Well, yeah, like you literally had
Shane chastising Randy
Orton,
so.
Exactly, and then being like, "But I liked it."
But it was pretty awesome.
Exactly, and then you have all these security guards standing around and trying to create tension because that Brock Lesnar is going to show up. Like, you just know
totally
the Brock. And I also like that this that they were actually in different cities. You know what I mean? Like,
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, Raw was in Raw was in Atlanta and SmackDown was in Nashville.
Okay, yep, you're absolutely right. I remember because of the AJ thing, I remember it being in Nashville. So, and then Dwight Howard was there. Yep, so you're completely right. But and that's kind of unusual. They usually do them in the same state, or they used to. So maybe that's part of the.
I mean, I think that they're really not that far apart.
Nah, you're right. I mean, it's Orlando, Tampa, isn't it? And then that's usually what they would do anyway with the.
I mean, Atlanta's it's like 4 or 5 hours, but still.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, but it's smart, like you said, though, to have that element of surprise that a night later a guy can be in a different city.
So. And then go to Dean march into the ring, doing a promo. Here comes Dolph.
Being angry Dolph.
I like angry Dolph.
Heel Ziggler, that's his Twitter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's back. I guess he's not really going heel.
Heel Ziggler has been his Twitter handle for years.
Yeah, I know. It's been his Twitter handle since he was heel Ziggler.
Exactly.
But the point is, like, and I don't think, Ziggler's going heel, but to see him actually fired up to give the match,
they need to
elevate the match
and to elevate his character.
Yeah, he's become a little vanilla, like a term that we've used several times since we started this shit thing.
I mean, I think that it's an applicable term for it. And then out of nowhere, Bray Wyatt attacks Dolph.
I got a hard on. I was just boom, lights go out. Bray, my boys in there.
Sets up the match for sets up a match later for Bray and Dolph,
which Dolph didn't even have to take.
No, they put putting emphasis on the kind of character that Dolph has.
And I know we want to start moving this along a little quicker, but at the same time, very cool for them to build Ziggler like that. Interesting to see Ambrose turning way more. I mean, there was some heel remarks in there. I mean, I guess you could call it tweener.
I guess, but no, there was some definite like, oh, okay.
I think that's a huge mistake if they do that with Ambrose.
Yeah, they don't need to turn him heel.
They don't.
Yeah, I know there's not a whole lot of true heels on the SmackDown roster, but you need to like Dean is a fan favorite. Let him be a fan favorite,
and he's good when he can just be a little looser and a little funnier.
Yeah, when he can just be Dean,
it's way more entertaining. So
Dino Clino,
decent opening of the show, I will say. I thought that was a really strong opening.
I'm like, see, and I also like how they had they showed the different camera angles. They showed the different, they started setting aside how SmackDown and Raw physically look different to watch.
Do you like these really big sweeping sort of
drone shots?
Yeah.
It's new, so I'm not used to it. So I don't, and I mean, honestly, I'm not sure if I like it or not yet, but I don't dislike it.
I think they're getting the hang of it. It's gonna take the crew a little while to.
And it'll take them another couple weeks.
Well, it takes. Excuse me. It takes us a little bit to adapt to that,
Definitely.
As viewers, all right, something in my throat there. But then we had a backstage segment when Miz coming and talking with Daniel Bryan and Shane, saying, "You forgot all about me. I mean, that's the way you treat a celebrity." So then they create a three-way match to
decide the number one contender to Miz's Intercontinental title.
Yeah, I don't like the choices at all. Really, I mean, I like one of the choices. I don't like the other two.
I know how much you love Baron Corbin.
Oh man, he is like my favorite dude. I mean, if I chose a guy that I could hang out with outside of work or play, just sit down, tell a couple stories.
Right. No, totally. Baron Corbin
all day long.
Because you two are lone wolves.
We are.
You can hang out.
God damn, I hate that. And then you've got my other favorite, fucking Kalisto. Oh, Botch Listo.
He's better. No, he just can't talk. He's better than Sin Cara when it comes to
do that lucha thing. Just do that lucha thing.
Just do a very good lucha thing.
Do a very good lucha thing, and that's what you do.
And that's what you do. He did an okay lucha thing. He didn't do a very good lucha thing, but he did an okay lucha thing.
And then we had my favorite. Not my favorite, but my favorite smiling black man.
Your favorite smiling black.
Yeah, good old Apollo Crews. Who Daniel Bryan called Apollo Creed.
I'm like, Apollo Creed's dead.
Wait a minute.
Son.
Wait, what? Drago killed that bitch way back.
He fucking ended him. It was terrible. It was sad.
I know. But I'm really, really happy. Okay match, honestly. Not the best.
Yeah.
But I'm happy.
Three-way dances are always tough.
The right guy won, though.
Yeah. You had to have Apollo win.
Yeah, you had to. I mean, it was either going to be him or Kalisto in that situation, really, for it to make sense. But
yeah, it's please, no Baron Corbin.
No, definitely not Baron Corbin. Thank you for that.
I don't know why he's French now. Yeah, but in my mind, he should have the little pencil mustache. He's like,
he should start doing that gimmick. Cut his hair. Start doing that gimmick.
He's a French chef.
And then no. Then he starts. He's old school, and he starts teaming up with the vaudevillains. You see. Old Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin.
Oh, we're way off track, but I love it. I love it. Then we got Becca Lynch versus Eva Marie. What I call a Becca?
Beckham Lynch.
Becky Lynch versus Eva Marie. Oh, wait. Dude. No, we didn't have that at all.
No, we had Eva Marie make it down to the ring using Kane's old lighting scheme, by the way.
Pretty much.
And she jumped up onto the second rope to like do the little show off thing in the corner that everybody does. And when she hopped off, like, apparently she hurt herself. Now, I don't know
I've heard, yeah, I think this is a work.
Either way, here's the problem, is we all know that she's terrible.
And that's part of the genius of it. If it is a work, they're playing into it. And it you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but where do you go?
That she's a chicken shit. That she's a chicken shit heel, and that she's doing everything she can to get out of matches. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. I just don't. I don't know.
I don't know how they're going to play this either, but it was interesting.
It's not that I don't know how. Like, I don't think it's good.
We'll see. We'll see how this develops, because there's a possibility that her character might end up being just so good that we can forget the fact that she can't wrestle. So I don't know.
No, you're incorrect about that, but that's okay. We're going to move on to the Vaudevillains and the debut of American Alpha.
Hell yeah, man! Great match. I mean,
that was a great
looked
match.
super clean.
And the Vaudevillains didn't look weak. They looked good putting them over.
They did. I'm happy. They paired the two well, because I'm sure they've worked many a time in NXT.
Oh, you know they have.
And it's kind of smart that would be their first match. Unfortunately, where the hell do they go? Fandango and Breezango or whatever.
I guess, like, that's the thing, is how many other tag teams we got on Raw. I really think
Ascension. On SmackDown it's Ascension, right? I think they got the Ascension.
I think so.
I think that's part of it.
Dudley's?
Yeah. Did Dudley's go there? God, we're bad. We need to keep a poster.
We need to keep the sheet.
Yeah, we need to keep the sheet up of the roster. It's still too fresh, especially with these lower tier guys. You know, it's not.
Well, right, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm like, maybe they have enough, especially if Luke Harper comes back and goes to SmackDown,
and then have that would be cool. Have Rowan and Harper as a tag team. Leave Bray do his thing. Potentially, they could have all the belts.
No, treat it like they treated the Shield. Treat it like they treat, like have Bray be the singles competitor,
right,
and have the other two be the tag team, and have them hold the tag team championship. Bray gets the heavyweight strap at some point.
Be badass.
I mean, that's fanboy boner for me, but it could happen in this new era.
So how'd you like the AJ promo? The whole AJ Cena situation?
I loved it.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good.
Those two play off of each other fantastically. AJ's a great heel. I just want him to keep him looking strong now that the club isn't with him anymore.
Cena's got to lose, man.
He does.
Cena's got to lose at SummerSlam.
Yeah. He really does.
They can't fuck this one up. AJ's too important. He's too important for them to fuck this up.
AJ needs to win, and then Cena needs to go over in the actual third solo match.
Right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Anyway,
that's probably the most important thing in wrestling right now, as far as like what is going on with the characters, because you just don't fuck up AJ. Just don't fuck up AJ.
Yeah, don't fuck that up. I mean, but I think they see how good AJ is for the company, and they're not going to do that.
Yeah, I think they're smarter than that. I think they're making too much money off him. Fandango versus Orton. There's a surprise. Orton wins via DQ.
Because the Brock Lobster
showed
up to nobody's surprise.
Oh my God! It's Brock Lesnar. How did he get in here? We had all the security too. We were prepared.
We were totally prepared. It's almost like we wanted this to happen.
It's crazy. I thought because we're competing with that show on Monday night, so we don't want their guys on our show.
No, we can't have that. It's not okay.
It's not cool. But Lesnar, good F5.
Good F5. Didn't look sloppy.
Orton sold the F5 better than Lesnar sold the RKO.
Well, what do you expect?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Then your boy Heath Slater was back in the offices of D-Bry.
Hey, Slater, baby.
Yeah, he's your boy. And he's all like, yo, I need to be on your shits. And
and they were like, cool, you just got to win a match against
Gord
Rhino. Shit. So I guess Heath Slater's not getting a job?
So I guess Heath Slater's just going to keep trying. Keep trying, Heath. You're gonna get one of these days.
You're gonna end up in TNA before you know it.
Yeah, you get drafted to TNA.
Oh, you get drafted to Impact Wrestling. That would be so terrible.
That would be pretty bad, right?
Oh.
Then we got some stuff that doesn't even matter because Carmella got attacked by Natalie.
Oh my God! Could you care less about that?
Oh my God! Why do they do it to us?
I don't know.
Just get off my television. That was
just go away.
Go away. Then we got Bray versus Ziggler, which was a little underwhelming of a match. I'm not gonna lie. I think Bray. There was one slam in particular towards the end where, oh man, it was brutal. I forget exactly what movie.
Dude, yeah. It was almost like a choke slam, but it was like almost like a sidewalk slam,
sort of a sidewalk slam. Yeah, that's totally what it looked like, and it looked really, really brutal. They had us on the hook for a minute because like a minute into the match, it looked like Bray hurt himself, like hurt his ankle or something.
Yeah, and then
it goes to commercial. Like, no, because Bray looked mad. He's like, oh fuck, did I just do this? And he's banging the mat.
Like hit his head on the mat and shit.
He's like, this is probably my shot, and this is a really bad time for me to get injured again.
Well, considering the last time he got injured,
So we were fearing the worst, but thankfully he comes back from break and he's on the second rope. We're like, phew. And then he does the spider thing. So we're
like,
there.
No, he's okay.
Yeah, he's okay. If I didn't like the finish of this match at all.
It was
so pointless. It was so just dumb. Like, I don't know who you can blame for this, but first, like, Bray's like, I guess playing mind games, and he's undoing the padding to the turnbuckle earlier in the match, and then Ziggler blatantly does it in front of the ref. And the ref does nothing about it.
Right.
Then obviously Bray gets his head whacked into the turnbuckle. And then for the second time in very recent weeks, Ziggler has pinned someone with a super kick.
Right.
So, okay, the super kick's back now. Super kick can that. Okay.
I guess
that's.
But here's
interesting.
But Del Rio does a super kick.
There's so many of them.
KO does a super kick. Like, everybody does a super kick, and Ziggler is like pinning that caliber of people with a super kick.
I mean, granted, it was off a turnbuckle, but how was that not a DQ? I know suspension of disbelief. It's wrestling. We get it. But that's just bad storytelling because that should have technically been a DQ and Bray should have won.
Right.
And therefore they almost should have done that. Someone should have got DQ'd to get the win. That way they both sort of look strong and the wrong person goes to win, or goes on to face the champion.
The champ.
You know?
I mean, you're right.
I don't know. That was dumb. I hope I don't think they fucked up Bray too much because you get to beat the shit out of him after the match. Just keep Bray up on that top here.
Yeah, they are.
And they have to. I'm hoping they're feeding Ziggler to Ambrose now, so that Ambrose has a decent title run before Bray eventually takes it from him. I'm hoping that's what the direction they go in, and then him or AJ. But I kind of want Bray before AJ.
It needs to be a build for AJ.
Yeah, and Bray might be a good guy to build that with.
Yeah, no, you may be right.
So it's just looking down the road. And
honestly, what I see happening in my fantasy booking mind is somehow, I can't fill in all the pieces as to how we get here, but my prediction is that you will see John Cena with the title for the 16th time.
Which,
and then, hang on.
Yeah, we need to, I guess, do it. Sure.
Who else is going to do it? Nobody else is even close to being able to.
Orton's got 14.
It's true, and Triple H has 13.
But yeah, it should be Cena.
It should be Cena.
It should be Cena. And I think they recognize that and will. There's so much going on right now. I kind of want to see someone else first.
But hear me out on this. Cena somehow gets the belt, ties Flair's record, but then AJ is the one, he beats Cena for his first WWE championship.
That would be nice. I mean, that would be a fairy tale type of thing.
And I can't piece together how all that happens, but I feel like maybe after this match at SummerSlam...
Put Bray before Cena. Cena's going to be, great guy to take on the evil of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
And then after that, you've got your AJ.
Yeah, but that's too predictable. And they've already fed Bray to Cena once.
Don't mean they won't do it again.
Yeah.
Maybe that's his kryptonite. Maybe Cena's always going to be Bray's kryptonite.
No, they need to not do that yet. They need to. Bray hasn't won enough fucking matches.
Yeah, he needs to win some matches.
Yeah, he really needs to win some matches. He needs to win the championship. He needs to go on a dominant run.
Do you maybe even take him down a notch and throw him in the IC scene, or is that?
That's fine, but what are you going to have him feud against heel Miz? You're going to have heel Wyatt against heel Miz?
Yeah, it doesn't work, does it?
Not really.
I mean, you could do some cool pretty boy type things, you kind of got that angle to go with, but
yeah.
And Bray is almost so good at what he does. He's half face, I mean, they've done that sort of weird thing with him where.
Right, but you also have to realize, dude, they screwed the pooch with Bray Wyatt so hard.
Yeah.
They are still trying to rebuild it, and if they don't do it right, he's who gives a shit?
I just hope I still have faith that they can do it. I like the guy too much.
But
I think he's too good at what he does.
But that's why they can't feed him to Cena again.
Yeah. Oh man, you're speaking all sorts of seriousness. You're stressing me out. Do you want to do a quick little bit of news and then we'll get out of here?
Yeah, we can do that.
Let's do a quick little bit of news. This is sort of rumor. One of them is sort of rumor. One of them is confirmed by Daniel Bryan himself on an interview last night. That one that's confirmed is that the tag belts, they are going to have a SmackDown tag belt division.
Nice.
That they are indeed going to be having their own titles, which I think needed to happen.
It did.
If you're going to have tag teams fighting, then you have to have a reason for them to fight.
Absolutely.
Much in the same as what the rumor is, but hasn't officially been announced, is that there will be a woman's belt as well.
And that, I think, is fantastic.
So Becky Lynch will finally probably get a chance to hold a little bit of gold for a bit. And then maybe Bayley, maybe, maybe I was gonna say Akira,
Asuka
when she gets her push finally, one day will come.
I was like, Akira is a spirit entity from an anime from 1985.
Yeah. Asuka, when she would be great on like your SmackDown, and then Bayley could go to your Raw, but that's again way down the line.
Right.
But either way, if they're trying to do women's competition seriously, they need a belt too. I'm wondering how they are going to do all these. I'm wondering. It makes it a little tougher, but I see it as a necessary evil.
No, I completely do as well. And a lot of people's argument is that it waters down the talent pool and everything. It's like, but you need more. This is how we ended up with. This is how JBL ended up with a championship in the first place.
Right.
It's how a bunch of these other
Booker T, I think too.
Yeah, I mean a bunch of these other superstars that would not have been anything if the roster would not have been split.
Yeah.
Or at least not anything compared
Orton
to
would
what
not
they
have
are.
14 if it wasn't for the brand split.
Right. Correct.
That's just an obvious fact. I go back and forth with it. I like it overall. I think at some point too, with them announcing officially for Raw, they're doing the the cruiserweight division. You're going to have a cruiserweight championship. I mean, it's just inevitable. At that point, do you get a hardcore title back? I mean, because that would be the smart thing to do, right?
I mean, it would be the smart thing to do if you want me to be happy.
I want Bob. I want Hardcore Holly back, where he was just, I'll fight you
Fuck
any
Hardcore
place, anytime.
He is a miserable human being.
He's an awful human being. I've listened to so many interviews and seen so much stuff. Like he just likes hurting people, and he likes being.
It doesn't seem like any fun.
He's just a dick. I mean, I love you, Hardcore Holly. I would love to see you back, and I'd love to see you be as champion one last run as Hardcore Holly.
Please don't hurt Owen.
Please just dress like Bob Sparkplug, though, for me. Just one time.
Grow the mullet out again.
Grow the mullet out if you can. Just do it. I mean, you were balding then. You're bald now, but I get it. He's going to kill me one of these days.
Yeah, he definitely is.
He never hears this. All right. The second piece of news. Do you hear about this one? This is a shocker. Do you know that somebody that we talked about on this show has a political thing going on in Detroit, your hometown, and he has essentially won the Michigan House Republican primary by 56 votes.
Who are we talking about?
Do you not know? Are you ready for this?
Dude, what did Rob Van Dam?
No, currently and was on SmackDown. And could be on the roster very soon.
Rhino?
Fucking Rhino, yeah.
Oh my god! I was
he's
like,
running
wait a
for
minute.
the House of Representatives in Michigan.
Oh
my
god!
And
there ain't many people left in Michigan right now.
And he's running as a Republican, and he won.
First of all, let me tell you this: as somebody who grew up in Michigan, it's like you don't win elections in Michigan if you're a Democrat.
That's okay. No, that's fair. I mean, it's traditionally just one of those states, but
yeah.
No, I thought that was hilarious. Like, here he is.
That is hilarious.
He was apparently on TV while the votes were being counted, and he hadn't won yet. Like, he's on SmackDown Live, and
goring Heath
Slater, and he's like just winning. Like, he's about to win.
That's
this
the
thing.
best.
Isn't that kind of cool?
That would be like fucking Vader running for the House of Representatives here in Colorado.
For sure. Yeah, it would be awesome. And you'd vote for him regardless.
I would vote for Vader because he would fucking Vader bomb me if I didn't.
Yeah, exactly. He could be like, I'm going to end this whole weed thing. I'm going to have kids. I'm going to have kids slaughtered, at the...
Totally cool.
Totally cool.
Dude, Vader's the dude that ripped off Mick Foley's ear, kind of.
It wasn't super intentional, though.
No, but
he got caught in the ropes and all that.
Yeah, but dude, he did throw that punch that and he hit him, and then you see it fly off the fucking side of his head, and it was like,
whoa. So yeah, Ryan is running for House of Representatives. Blah blah blah. The last piece of news, and we'll go out on this. We can talk a little bit about it. About her, is that reportedly Lillian Garcia is leaving the show, and it kind of pains me. I've kind of grown over the years to love Lillian, and it's weird because when she started, she was the first woman in my or I can remember really taking that in-ring announcer role. It was always a guy. It was always a whoa, ready to rumble type voice, right? And she has a great announcer voice, but it was never a woman, and it was. At first, it was hard to digest as a little kid. Like, I was probably like 7 or 8 or something. I don't know, maybe older than that. 10, 11. But it was weird. Do you remember any of that?
Oh, I totally remember that. And it was definitely weird because she was right after, also after Howard Finkel.
Howard Finkel, that was his name, yeah.
The Fink. And yeah, like I'm accustomed to Lillian. Like, dude, she was there for at least 15 years.
Yeah, it's about right. About 15 years.
Because she sang. Sang like America the Beautiful or the Star Spangled Banner. Right after 9/11, like the 2 days after 9 or whatever it was after 9/11. Because they were the first live sporting event on.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And she has an amazing voice too.
She does. She absolutely does. She is leaving to take care of her father, who has 2 types of cancer.
It sucks.
Right? Like, it's terrible. But you know that she'll have a job when she goes back.
Yeah,
and she trained JoJo well, and JoJo sounds exactly like her.
She does. And JoJo's cute too.
Yeah, and she's got a nice big old booty.
She does have a good old big old booty. Oh, I do like me some JoJo.
Yeah.
On that note, my friend, I think we're gonna call it for the week. I think we've gone long enough.
I think we'll throw in the towel for this one. I think that the Turnbuckle Time Machine is something that we're not going to give you every week. Yeah. Got to keep you listening in and wanting more.
Exactly. Turnbuckle Time Machine will definitely be on next week's show. It's where we share just memories of our wrestling past, and I've got a good one, and I'll just leave you with a cliffhanger. Last week I told you one about my brother choking me to find out his wrestling figures for Christmas.
Yep.
It's another story of how my brother he got really, really mad at me, and it has to do with wrestling. So there might be a bit of a theme going on here.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
It sounds like you may be harboring some deep-seated psychological trauma.
Well, we know that. I just want my listeners to know that.
Oh, okay.
I'm
sorry. I just assumed that it was evident by the fact that we're sitting here talking about wrestling.
So I've decided, I think, that every episode we're going to go out on a different vintage theme song. Is that cool?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So this week we're going to go with this one, and we hope you enjoy it. Duncan, I'll see you next week, all right?
All right, have a great one, buddy.
Domination.